Hello students, I wanted to put together a little video demonstration for you about the atom to allow you to think about how do scientists actually know what the atom looks like. So we've heard about these electrons that are hanging out around the nucleus. We've got the nucleus that has a proton and a neutron in it, or more or less many neutrons and protons. And how do scientists actually know? So there are many, many methods in order to figure that out. But this is kind of like a little introduction to help you start thinking about what do scientists actually have to do in order to find out how the atom looks. So I have this little demonstration. It is called the atom, the mystery box. So I'm going to give you a little tour of the mystery box here. It's a very, very basic box. We have the front is taped up. The back, the side is also taped up. And here's, I'm just kind of, again, giving a full tour. There are no little tricks of the trade. There is a funnel on top. The funnel is going into the box. And then I have it taped here on the back. So imagining that this box right here is an atom. As I'm going around showing you this demonstration, imagining scientists had really, when they first started thinking about atoms, they were thinking about atoms just being these loops, these blobs. So thinking about that on a deeper level, scientists had to start doing things and actually interacting with the atom on like doing things in order to predict what's inside and how it looks inside, and making these hypotheses and making these theories about how the atom, how our world is even made up. So to show you this, what I'd like you to start thinking about before I start the demonstration is you see a funnel, you see also, oh, I didn't show you the underneath. I'm gonna show you really briefly underneath. Underneath, this is down here. It's nothing too fancy. It's just like a little box with a tube at the bottom. And then there's also, I have it propped up on a ring stand. And right here, I'm going to put a beaker. It's a 500 milliliter, so it totals 600 milliliters fit in here, but it is a 500 milliliter that we're gonna go up to here in a moment. So as you're looking at it, think about it. Make some inferences, make some observations to inform your thought process of what's gonna happen when I put water through this funnel. So right here I have about 800 milliliters of water, and but please notice I have a larger beaker down here. So I have an extra 600 milliliter beaker to kind of, in case I overflow. So as I put the first part of water in there, so I just want you to watch what happens. So I'm gonna start out with about, I'm gonna go down to the 600 milliliter mark. So I'm gonna go down there. So here we go. So down about 600 milliliters. A little bit more. Is it coming out? So scientists, this one, the way the analogy kind of happened is scientists thought, okay, the atom looks like this, the atom's like this. So then they decided to do something to it, and they did something to it, and they're like, that is not at all what I was thinking was gonna happen. And so scientists and chemists were like, okay, well, the water didn't come out. Oh, the atom didn't act the way that I'm going to. So maybe I'm gonna increase the amount of stuff that I'm gonna add. Like I'll add a little bit more pressure, or I'll add a little bit more, like I'll interact with a different chemical. For right now, I'm just gonna stay with water just to be safe. So I'm gonna add, instead of doing 200 milliliters, I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna add 300. So I'm gonna add about 300 milliliters. So I'm gonna add more stuff. See if I can see something. So it's still not quite there, still nothing happening. So as we're going through this scientific process, you may be thinking, why isn't the water coming out? There is no water coming out. Like, what's going on? What is inside this atom? This atom is like, we have no idea. We just kind of have to like start making ideas, making hypotheses, trying to like form the process to think about why isn't it coming out? Like, is there a sponge in there? Is there something in there that actually is going to, yeah, I don't know. How is this whole process actually happening? So I'm gonna add, so again, I got about 300 that I add. I'm gonna add, I'm gonna maybe add it a little bit faster. So I'm gonna add the rest of this 300 milliliters. I'm gonna maybe a little faster. And look at that. And what? It's starting to come out. And it's starting to come out a little bit of a spill there, but what? It came out green? Why did it come out green? Why? And it's still coming out, and it's coming out all at once. So here in a moment, I'm gonna switch out our container. It's gonna spill again, but here we go. Still all coming out all at once. What is even going on in there? Why is that happening? How is that happening? So as it's coming out, what's your thought process? So right now in this one, we have about 500 milliliters. And right now we're getting up to 300 milliliters. What's 500 plus 300? That looks like more like 350. Check that out. It's 850. How much did we start with? We started with 800. We did not start with 850. We did not actually have green water that we put in there. So scientists were really boggled. They're like, what? How the heck? Like, why are these things happening? So they had to like form more and more and more hypotheses of like what was actually going on. So if you're still thinking about like, how did this even happen? I did get a little bit of water on top. I did get some water. So there's even more than 850 milliliters that I poured out because some got on the counter there. So take a moment, pause your video, think about it, write about it, about what you think it looks like in here. Describe it as best you can. You can describe it in a video. You can describe it in words. Anything you'd like in your Google Classroom assignment to share with me what you think it looks like. You can do a drawing and take a picture of it, whatever you'd like. And then in the next couple days, I will share the other video of actually what it looks like on the inside. One thing I also want you to add to your notes and your ideas is, why did it turn green? Why did it turn green? What happened? What was the thing that made it happen? And that's the thing that also scientists also experience. They are like, all right, I'm gonna put this clear liquid in this box and then a clear liquid will come out. But in this case, it didn't happen. And that happens for scientists too. They're like, all right, I'm gonna do this thing to the atom. And then as they're doing it, something totally unexpected happens, and then they end up discovering other things about atoms, and then it leads them out down this other path of like creating new hypotheses. And it's really exciting whenever they have this moment of like, okay, I think when we do this, it's done this 100 times. Oh, I'm gonna increase the amount of water, or I'm gonna increase the amount of chemical, or increase the amount of radiation, or whatever they're doing to the atom. And then all of a sudden it puts the atom at a tipping point where it does something completely odd. So again, I want you to think about, why did it turn green?